Hello paper crafters, welcome to another Design with Jo video. Today I'm going to show you a technique for a neat background using glossy paper, and I call this technique drips and drops. So I'm just going to bring in the card that we're going to make, and this is just created with two colors of Reinker, Bermuda Bay and Lemon Lime Twist on glossy paper. So let's get started. So here's what you need. You need Reinker, two colors that are sort of complementary colors. So as I said, Bermuda Bay and Lemon Lime Twist is what I'm going to be working with. You need your Stampin' Spritzer filled just with clear water. You need your glossy cardstock. Don't you just love that it's back in the catalog? You need to have pieces that are a little bit bigger than what you want to actually create and put onto your card. And I'll tell you why once I'm working in building the card so that you can actually see it. So you need two pieces to start with, and you also need what you also need, really the biggest part of it, is a page protector. And it's a page protector, just a regular one from the office supply store. And I have cut off about 1/8 of an inch along the right-hand side and along the bottom. And that's so that I can open it up. So what you do is you just take your Reinkers and you drop drips of Reinker color onto one side of your page protector. Do one color and then go in with your second color. And then you actually add a little bit of water. So just take your spritzer and spritz it right on top and give yourself a good amount. You want to see those colors starting to blend out. Close up your page protector and mix your colors around. So if you have too many colors, let's say you wanted to have 5 colors, what you have a chance of getting is brown or a really sort of yucky color. So don't probably limit yourself to 2 or 3 colors, and you'll probably be a little bit happier with it. So what I do need to do right now is I know that this isn't big enough for my paper, so I just need to mix it around a little bit more and have it go a little bit further out this way. I could add a little bit more ink too if I wanted, but I'm just going to start with that. You can't really plan this one, so what you get is what you get, and it's usually pretty great. So you're going to take your glossy paper, two that are the same size, and you're going to put them back to back so the glossy side is facing out, and have them go together rather. Lay that down on top of your page protector, and then close it up. And then you're just going to take your hand, and one of the things, I'll show you another one here in just a moment. These are air pockets, and they will create a lighter circle on the finished piece on the background. I don't tend to like those, so I get rid of them. So now this is one side. You could turn it over and play with the other side. I usually don't. I'm usually like to see what I created. So then you just lift it out of here. You are going to get dirty fingers, so just be aware of that. So here's my two. I've got my color mixing around pretty good. I set that aside and let them dry. I usually only let them dry maybe 15 minutes. That's about it. There's still lots of color in here, so I usually go in and add just more water. Close it up again. Mix it around again. And this one is going to give you a much lighter color. So I'm pulling some of that color that's sitting in the inside. Okay, open up again. Take another 2 pieces of glossy, put it back to back so the glossy is facing out. Lay that on top, close it, and then smoosh. So this one, what I'm going to get is a lot less of the 2 different colors showing. And on this one, because it's so light, I am going to leave those bubbles in there. And we'll see what they look like. So peel it back. Okay, so pretty homogeneous color on this one. And same with that one. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside on my piece of paper towel and let those dry. And while those are drying, I just want to show you some dried ones that I have. Let me pull them in here, and I want to show you where those air pockets are. So there was a little one here. I have another one, I think a little one there, but this one here is the big one. So I had some air pockets in here. It might have been on the back, could have been on the front, and I don't tend to like those. You could work those into your design perhaps, but I like when it's a little bit more like this. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about the edges right now. So this is a dried piece, and you can see that the ink has pooled and sort of dried along here, sort of the effect that you get when you do a watercolor. So I like to cut that off for my created card. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this up. What you do now, you can probably keep on going, but you're going to get lighter and lighter color. And I find that I really like that dark color the most. So just take a paper towel and wipe it all off. Try and get as much in the middle where it's pooled a little bit off as possible. And just get it all nice and clean. You're creating a cool paper towel here that you could probably use for another background too. As clean as you can. I leave that laying open for a little while just to dry a little bit more. It's actually pretty dry. It only needs to dry right in the middle. And then I can reuse that. Okay, this piece is dried now. And this one's actually pretty cool because it looks like there's almost sun, I think, coming from that top left corner. So as I said, this is a bigger piece than what I want for my card. So I am going to trim this down, and I'm going to look at the sides and make sure that I'm going to get most of this off, where I don't know if you can see that in the camera. There's a little bit there and there's a little bit here that I'm just going to clean off. So I need a piece that is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit off of here. And I'm going to take a little bit off the top just so that I have a nice crisp edge on my paper. Okay, so I'm done with the Stampin' Trimmer, so that can go away. And we have our card. I still have a little bit down here, but I'm not too worried about that one. So what I recommend that you use on this is your Stampin' Archival Stampin' Basic Black, because it is going to dry on there with a heat tool. So I'm just going to open that up and we're going to stamp. And this set of words is the Layering Love. And so I'm just going to put that down on the bottom right hand corner. And this will, because it's glossy paper, it will slide around on there. So just be a little bit more careful. Really make sure you don't move it around. Hold it and lift up. And then I do give that a shot with my heat tool to dry it. And that's done. And the little embellishment I'm going to put on here is one of our dragonflies. So these dragonflies come where there are 5 of them. So there are 5 that you cut out, and you can actually use and cut apart pretty successfully at least 3 of them so that they're individual dragonflies. So this is the top one, the very top one on it, and you just go in with your paper snips and you clip the tail off. And you have to very carefully go around and create a little bit of a curve there. So I've got him, and I've got a silver one out of silver foil paper and out of basic black. And how I put these together is using the sponge with your liquid glue and your silicone mat. So I'm going to pull those in. So if you haven't done this before, what you need to do is on your silicone mat, just give yourself a little pool of liquid glue. And I've just taken an alligator clip on a piece of sponge. And you are going to, on the back side, pick up a little bit of your glue and just dab it over top. This way you can get glue on all of those intricate little pieces easily. I'm going to do that on the black as well. And I'm going to first of all put my silver down on my card. And then I'm going to put my black over top just with a very slight offset. Okay, and those will stay there now. Because you might be able to see that there is just a little bit of warping on the paper. So I used Fast Fuse or tear and tape to actually put this down. So I've cut that now to 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of basic black that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. That's already adhered onto my piece of Bermuda Bay. My Bermuda Bay is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to use my Fast Fuse on top along with the side. Place that down on top of my basic black. So So I have a nice matting on it. And the last little bit is I just like to decorate with a little bit of rhinestones. So I'm just going to pull off one of these rhinestones, put it on top of the dragonfly, and put another one actually just right on the tip of the heart. So there's your finished card. And remember, that technique is called drips and drops, and it's on glossy paper. I think you'll really have fun experimenting with all different colors of refills. So get out your reinkers, your glossy paper, and your spritzer, and have a ball playing. And I'll see you again at a Design with Jo video.